Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Leah Simpson. This is Homeschool at Heart, and today we're going to be talking about what my curriculum picks for my two middle school students are going to be for the 2024-2025 school year. All right, you guys, I'm gonna have two middle schoolers next year. I cannot even believe that. Both Beth and Ellie are gonna be in middle school, so I'll have a 7th grader and a 6th grader next year. And I decided to do this video as one, instead of doing 2 grades, I'm doing only one video because almost every single thing that they're doing is going to be together. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're doing. So for Bible, it's gonna be, I'll talk about family subjects first. If you saw my 4th grade curriculum picks video, I already talked about a few of these things, but we're going to be doing this Bible study by Not Consumed. It's called Fruit of the Tongue, and it's about the power of words. And I think that this is going to be especially good for my family. We are just at a place right now where we've got a lot of hormones going. We've got 2 middle schoolers and we've got one girl that's not far behind. And I think that we just really need a good dose of scripture in this area. I am including myself in that as well. So I will go ahead and show you the inside of this sweet little Bible study. So if you are new to Not Consumed, they do leveling. So you can buy a level for wherever your student is at, and they even include parents in that. So they have a parent guide. They have, this is the junior level. They have a primary level, and I think they have one that's lower than that. I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head, but they have several levels that you can do. And they have the same topic, but they have different questions inside and different ways that they have your student answer. So we did the littler kid one for Charlotte this past year, and it had a lot of like, draw your answer or whatever. She is capable of answering these questions like her sisters. And I know this because she does a Bible study that's the same as Ellie's for Awana. So she's totally capable of answering these little short answers in here. And then there's like some places where they could do some journaling. So they're pretty quick. You can get through these in probably 20 minutes, maybe less. Depends on how deep you want to go in. So we're going to be doing all this level. I will be doing this level. All 3 of my girls will be doing this level. We'll be starting out our school days with this. This will be part of our morning time, but I'm counting it as a subject on its own also. So each study also comes with its own little bookmark. This one says Fruit of the Tongue. Good words satisfy our hearts, bless others, and please the Lord. And then it has a little list of things on the back about what our words should do. It comes with a little sticker sheet. And then it also comes with challenge cards. And so this is a 4-week study. It will probably take us longer to do than that, but there are 4 challenge cards. One of them says, select a family member or friend that you would like to share good fruit with this week. Write them a note with 1 loving, 1 joyful, 1 kind, and 1 good thing. So little challenges for them to do. I will say, okay, so I probably should have said this first. We are a charter school family. The charter school will not pay for Bible resources. It will not pay for anything that's religious. So I am buying this myself. So if you know that I'm a charter family, I had this question in my last video about 4th grade materials as well. They will not pay for these things. I do pay for these things myself. But I do have a few resources from Christian companies that the charter will pay for things from. So that includes IEW. It is a Christian company, and Beautiful Feet is a Christian company, but they have charter materials that are not religious. They are neutral. And so the charter will work with those companies. You can even go to their websites and look. They have a charter tab, I believe. I know Beautiful Feet for sure does. I'm not sure about IEW, but you can buy charter, you can use charter funds for those resources from those companies. Or you can go to a website like Rainbow Resources, which is actually where I bought all of Charlotte's curriculum this past year. And you will be able to, you can save yourself some shipping charges by buying it all in that same place. All right, so next up is science. So I don't have anything to show for science because it's an online curriculum, sort of. It's a printable curriculum. It is Harbor and Sprout, and we've actually used them for 2 years. So we used them this past year, and then we also used them the year before this. I am an affiliate for Harbor and Sprout, and I started doing that after I already fell in love with them. I didn't fall in love with them because I decided to be an affiliate for them and they pay me. They pay me a little bit of commission when somebody signs up using the link that I'll put in the description box. But guys, I love Harbor and Sprout. I will continue to use them for as long as they're putting out new material. I haven't even scratched the surface for how many topics they have. We only use them for science and nature study and a little bit of some of the other like arts and a few other like minor things. We don't use them for language arts or math or history, which you totally could. I would probably supplement reading and math if I was using them for that, unless it was for really little kids. But social studies and science and nature study and art and music and all of those things, excellent, guys. They have printable units, which is what I do. And we use, I believe it's the Patchwork Studies, but it's like the original units. So they're like the cutesy ones that have the characters and all of that stuff. My kids love all that. They love all of it. I don't always print out all the manipulatives because we don't honestly always use all of that stuff. My youngest is 9 now and I have junior hires. However, I do still feel like my junior hires are getting, well, my one junior hire, my one approaching middle schooler are still getting so much out of those units that I probably will continue using them. However, they do have another level up, and I can't remember. I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember what they call them. I don't know. My brain is not working. I cannot get the word in my brain, but I will put the word on the screen that they use, the name of the type of unit. But they also just came out with units that are pre-printed that you can just buy from them. So you can buy the teacher guide and then you can buy all of the consumables already printed for you and they will ship it to your home, which is a really cool thing because it's almost the same price to buy it pre-printed and already like spiral bound for you as it is to buy the unit and print it yourself. So if you want to save yourself the trouble, then that's great. But what I usually do is I will read from my computer or my tablet or something like that, and I'll only print off the consumables that we're going to use at this point. I used to, and you can go back through my channel and you can see a ton of like print with me videos. I don't, towards the end of the school year, I stopped printing everything like that, and it is mostly just because I stopped having time. I still prefer to have a printed book or binder that has all of the materials in it where I can just like quickly go through and look at what I'm going to be doing the next day or the next week or whatever, but I just have not had that time to devote to that right now. But hopefully next year I will go back to doing that. So what I love about Harbor and Sprout is they're a wealth of knowledge. There's so much in there. it's almost overwhelming how much is in there. And if you go back through my print with me's, you will see it's hundreds and hundreds of pages of things. So I would encourage you, if you're gonna go and do all the printing, go back to those videos. And if you need help finding them, you can just let me know in the comments and I would be happy to link those for you. But what I love is they have all of that information, but then they also have QR codes embedded into the material where I can take it to my TV or, you know, like I'll scan the code with my phone and I'll take it to my TV and we'll watch YouTube videos and it just helps keep it fresh and interesting for my students. So that's super fun. They also have really great photos. Like the pictures and the art are so beautiful in this curriculum, you guys. I just cannot even recommend it highly enough. So go to the link, if nothing else, even if you don't buy it, go to the link in the description box and check out their website because they do not disappoint. So cool. All right, so next family subject that we do is history, and we use Beautiful Feet books. This will also be the third year that we're going to be using them. We are doing this one this year, and we didn't finish it. So we're going to be continuing on with early American history this year, next year, in 2024-2025 school year. And I am going to be finishing this one up and then starting, and hopefully maybe finishing, modern American and world history. So we're going to be starting with the Revolutionary War. Next year we got up through the William Penn material in this one, because I will be really honest right now, you guys, the book that they included for the Pilgrims was really boring. So we took a lot of time going through the Pilgrims information. The William Penn book though, guys, so good. So let me show you guys a little bit inside of this book. I have some post-it notes in here so you guys can see and I don't get off on too many tangents. So this is the teacher guide. It has some study questions and the information on what parts of the literature you're going to be using. So I forgot to mention, this is a literature-based history curriculum. So this is just the guide. This is not a textbook, it's just the guide. And what you will get, hopefully, with this, I only have the guides here right now, and for next year, I only bought this guide. I haven't bought the literature package, but there is a literature package that also goes with it. If you're using a charter school like I am, they sometimes do not pay for the guide. They will almost always pay for the literature package, however. So when you look at the price tag, it's like $200 and something for the literature package. And it comes with a dozen or more books, and they're living books. So that means they're written by one author, they're written by somebody who is very well versed and also excited about the material. They're writing it in a way that's interesting and informative and is going to pique your children's interests. So a lot of the time it's told in story form instead of just dry textbook form. So that's kind of what drew me to this curriculum. I loved it. We started it with California history. That one was my favorite so far. Loved every single thing about the California history one. And now we're doing early American history. So there's the discussion questions. It tells what parts of which books you're going to read for the day. And then it also has some photographs, maps, things like that that would be extra and interesting to your students. Excuse me. It has, sometimes it has recipes to go along with things. So this is for early, like settlers, colonial tea party is what they're calling it. There's poetry in here. There are maps. Let's see, what else was I? There are rabbit trails. So that is further study that you can do with more literature suggestions. There's crafts and projects in here, and then there's even character studies. So this particular guide is not available for using charter funds because of the character study stuff in here. But it is well worth the investment of, I think it's like $24. So spend the $24, get this guide, and then you can use your charter funds to pay for all of the books that go with it. It's excellent. But the charter school did pay for the second part of the American history set. So that is what we're doing for our family subjects. So let's talk about now what we're doing for our specific to middle school subjects. So I'm doing language arts. I don't have them here because my kids did a lot of electives this year and used up all of their funds, which was a good problem. Usually I have tons of funds at the end of the year, and it's a lot of work to try to use them up. Usually I even buy all of the next year's curriculum, and then I still have so much money left over, which I will probably have next year because they're upping our funds, which is a good problem. I'm not like trying to complain because I know that there's a lot of homeschoolers out there that have to spend their own money, even if they are with a charter school. And so I promise you guys, I'm not complaining. I am blessed to have a charter in California that will pay for all of our materials. It's overwhelming at times to like try to do all of the things. That being said, we are doing Moving Beyond the Page again next year for the bulk of our language arts program. The reason I do Moving Beyond the Page is because it satisfies all of the requirements of my charter school. It satisfies the vocabulary and spelling and the grammar, the writing and the reading requirements. We do more than that because it does not satisfy my personal requirements for the writing portion of language arts for my kids. I am a writer by trade. I graduated with a journalism degree and was a journalist professionally before I got married and became a mom and decided to homeschool my kids. And I want my kids to be able to do that if they so desire. And I don't really feel like this is a little bit lacking in that area, in my opinion. However, it does an okay job of the spelling, and it does a good job of the grammar, and it does a really good job of reading and reading comprehension. So that is what we're using it for, and then I'll let you know what we're using for writing after I talk about specifics of Moving Beyond the Page. So I will put pictures, since I don't have the specific books here, I will put pictures, screenshots of the ones that we're going to be using up here in the corner. We're going to be doing The Hobbit, and I'm going to take a look at my notes really quick, so if you see me looking down, that's why. The Hobbit covers vocabulary, sentence construction, grammar, literary terms and techniques, and that is true of all of the Moving Beyond the Page units. It will grow with your students, so as they do them by ages and not by grade levels, which is kind of cool. So my two middle schoolers, their ages line up, and so they're doing the same ones. They're also really neck and neck with their reading levels and all of that stuff. But we're gonna be doing the same ones. So we're gonna be doing but the big like individual, like the thing that this unit covers that none of the other ones do is characteristics of fantasy novels and quest stories. So that was really a cool thing to me and what caused me to choose it. My kids love quest stories and fantasy novels, and actually my oldest daughter, her favorite and obsession right now, her favorite novel and obsession is Percy Jackson. And so I think that this will maybe broaden that a little bit. Hopefully she will also learn to love some other types of literature that are not Percy Jackson and written by Rick Riordan, because, you know, I don't allow her to read more than just that first set of 5 Percy Jackson novels. So, all right, so then I chose a second one. I didn't do like their full literature package because we won't finish all of that, because I also have them doing another language arts program in addition to this. But we're going to be doing the Greek myths, which, as I mentioned before, my oldest daughter loves Percy Jackson and all of that Greek myth stuff. So she is very excited that we're going to be doing the Greek myths one. So that one is going to, in addition to vocab, sentence construction, grammar, literary terms, and techniques, also covers, it has a game that you're going to play with Greek and Latin roots. And then it's going to have them rewrite a traditional Greek myth with a modern twist. So that will be interesting, and I will hope that I can get her to feel excited about that. She'll do it, because I'll tell her to, but she won't be excited about it unless I say, you can be like Rick Riordan and write your own Percy Jackson-esque story. So hopefully that will get her to want to do that. All right, so so in addition to this, we are going to be doing IEW. So this is where my kids are not doing exactly the same thing. So they are in separate sections of structure and style. Ellie is kind of closing in on Beth because Ellie loves to write. So she is the rising 6th grader. She'll be in 6th grade next year. Beth will be in 7th grade. Beth kind of drags her feet a little bit, but it's fine. I had a whole conversation with Andrew Pudawa, and he was like, don't rush them through the curriculum. Let them kind of go at their own pace. The whole thing, like every paragraph should take, I can't remember exactly what he said, but I was like floored that this was supposed to take so much longer than I was actually giving her. So this past year, I really slowed them down on what I was expecting of them, and the results have been so much better. So if you're doing IEW, give your kids the time that they need to complete the projects well, instead of saying, hey, you know, like, this is the pacing that I'm expecting. Don't expect them to finish 1 week's worth of, you know, project in a week. It's not a thing that they can actually do. So I usually expect it in 2 weeks, truth be told. So it takes longer than the year, the school year, to finish that curriculum in my mind. So we'll be continuing on. We just pick up where we left off at the end of the school year and just keep going through. So that's all that we're doing with that. So we have 2 separate, I'll put them in the description box which ones we're doing, but it's actually, let me just tell you. Okay. We're doing 2A and 1B. I can never remember which one is, I think 1B. 1B is the older kid one. 1B is the one that my 6th grader is doing. 2A is the one that my 5th grader is doing and will continue to do next year. I feel like their numbering sequence is really confusing, but it does say on the website, like, it'll tell you which one follows which one. That I will say. All right, so math. Let's talk math, guys. This is breaking news for my channel. We are switching math curriculums for both of these children, and they will both be doing the exact same one. The exact same class. Both my 6th grader and my 7th grader. We are going to be switching from Math in Focus and Right Start Math to Mr. D Math. And I will tell you why. I am not a mathematician. Anybody who knows me in real life knows this about me. And I am capable of teaching math. I'm capable of learning it. I have for a lot of years. And it's fine. I could continue to do that. However, this particular curriculum has come to my attention, and it is video classes, but it's also self-paced. You can do live classes, but I'm not going to. We're going to be doing the self-paced system, and so we'll be taking the video classes. The kids will watch the classes. I will likely watch them with them. And then there's printable worksheets for them to do, and they will fill out the printable worksheets. So I was really happy to hear that, because I didn't want a video class where then they would also do all of their work online. I didn't really feel like that was going to be beneficial to them, because I don't want my students to just learn how to tell the computer the right answer. So I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to read a little bit from their website so that I can represent them properly. And I will put a link to their website in the description box below. So, math is a notoriously dreaded subject for students of all ages, but with Mr. D Math, your student can finally learn to love math and become driven to learn more. Mr. D Math provides online math curriculum, SAT, ACT, test prep, and many other courses led by highly trained, seasoned educators who are passionate about sharing their lifelong love of learning. We offer courses for students from grades 5 to 12, where students can work independently to learn at their own pace. We treat every student as an individual, catering to all learning styles to ensure success in even the most challenging subjects, including calculus. Our approach delivers results with high completion rate and consistent positive feedback from our students. We help students finally get math. Even for students who have had difficulty with math courses in the past, we demystify the subject of mathematics and equip students with problem-solving skills they need to thrive. When students have questions, we're here to help through extra sessions with instructors at no extra cost. Our instructors are each certified in our unique methodology following a two-year training program, and most of our teachers have more than a decade of experience as educators. So that is part of what made me want to do this course. It also came very highly recommended to me from the teachers that I work with through our charter school, as we work with Beth and Ellie on their math and what might help them in the future. So I just really want my kids to be able to thrive in all of their courses of study, and I really want them to be equipped for whatever they want to do outside of schooling at home. So whether that be going to college, going to a trade school, just jumping into a job, a career, marriage, anything like that, this is the training ground for that. And so I want to make sure that they are ready and able to do that. And I haven't felt like this past year that working with the curriculum and my particular student, that Right Start was doing the job with just for my particular students' needs. I do still really love that curriculum. I think that it is really a good curriculum, and I think that it works really well for a lot of people. Beth needs a little bit more help in math than I think that is giving her. And I loved that there was help available if we need it. And also the subject matter was going to be taught by somebody else. But like I also said, she was going to be working it out with paper and pencil still, and not just figuring out how to answer the multiple choice of like figure out which of these answers is the correct one, because I think that both of my kids would definitely lean towards, instead of figuring out how to do the actual work, they would figure out how to answer the question. So we're going to be doing preparing for pre-algebra. We're going to just start with the lowest one and we're going to work our way up. And I'm excited to see how this is going to go. So that is all of what we're doing for our core subjects for both of my middle schoolers for 2024, 2025. I hope that this has been informative for you guys. If you have liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share this video if you have somebody who is homeschooling a 6th or 7th grader. And if you have some curriculum recommendations or something that you're really loving, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Have a good week. Okay guys, that was a lot. These curriculum videos kind of like take it out of me a little bit. It's a lot of information to give, and I want to like represent everything well and not like complain about whatever. Like there are some things that I don't like about certain curriculum, and if you want to know, I can make a video like that, but I don't necessarily want to always do that in my like, oh, let me talk about this one and I'll tell you all the bad stuff about it, because I'm like saying this is what I'm going to use. But you know, I gotta be honest. So it's like, where do I find that balance? Anyway, I'm tired. Anyway, but this is the part of the video where I share something from my real life or a funny story sometimes or whatever. So if you guys are new to my channel, stay after the video is technically over if you want to hear about the Simpson family. I am in a show called Anne of Green Gables right now, a musical. We do theater. Our family loves theater. That's how my husband and I met, is doing theater. And he doesn't do theater anymore, but my kids and I do. So my almost middle schooler, my 5th grader, and I are doing Anne of Green Gables together. It was actually her first show 6 years ago. And so we are doing that together since it came back. But I didn't do the show with her last year, or I always say last year, the last time that we did it, because she was only 5 and I was worried about like what she was gonna need from me. Turns out she was just fine and I could have done the show. She would have just done the things she needed to do because she was totally capable. But you know, you don't know when you have a tiny kid. So anyway, we're in it together and it's totally great. I will post a picture of us together here from opening night, and it's just a sweet experience to do shows with. It's really cool to do a show with just one of my kids. Usually it's all of them or a couple of them, or it's not usually just me and one of them. So that's really a fun experience. So she's ensemble this time. I am playing the role of Mrs. Barry, Diana Barry's mother. And guys, I think Diana Barry's mother kind of gets a bad rap. She is just kind of Mama Baron, to be honest. I kind of think, you know, if you came upon, like if you went and let your kid go and play at their friend's house and you went over there and your kid was drunk, you wouldn't probably ask too many questions. I know I wouldn't. If my like barely teenage daughter was like drunk at her friend's house and I went to go pick her up, I don't think I'd ask any questions. I think I would just be mad and I'd be like, my kid's not playing with you anymore. So she didn't ask any questions. She just said, how dare you? So anyway, that's not the story I was trying to tell, but that's kind of, I have thought a lot about Mrs. Barry in the last couple of weeks, few weeks, 6 weeks, I suppose. But anyway, the story is there's a lot of kids in the show. They're learning how to do things like play cat's cradle, which is that like yarn game where you like twist it around your fingers. I remember playing it as a kid. This is the funny thing though. My husband remembers wanting to learn desperately how to play this game with his girl cousins when he was young. And they were like, no dude, you're a boy, you can't play it. And so Ellie learned how to play it last week and taught her dad how to play it. And he was out in the audience the one day I couldn't go to rehearsal last week, playing Cat's Cradle, learning how to play Cat's Cradle with her, like real serious, with the yarn like all twisted around his giant man hands. It was so cute. So cute. I didn't actually see it myself, but one of my mom friends told me about it. She was texting me when I was here, not feeling well. So, super cute. My husband is just like the best, guys. He's the best girl dad of them all. And he was so excited to learn how to play Cat's Cradle. And it was so cute. Anyway, that's my story for you guys. And I'm gonna go so I can get this video edited and put up on my channel so you all can see it. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Have a great week.